Welcome all online race fans. It is Motormaster Monday, and we begin with Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. It is round 21 of the 2019 NASCAR Motormaster Series season. These drivers have 3 races remaining before the playoffs begin. Time to capitalize on a couple of road courses and a short track. It's the final night of the regular season. Bro in the 00, there you see him in the Ford Mustang on the pole here at Mid-Ohio. And he leads lap 1. It's Keith Ayers running in second with BJ Thomas right behind him in third in the 99. BJ very much a road course ace. He's sitting in third, and there he goes. He takes second from Keith Ayers, who went into the grass just a little bit. To the sharp righty. That right-hand turn, you come down a hill a little bit. You can carry a bit too much speed there at times and go off course very easily, but there you see the top 6 or 7 make it through clean. Everybody's spread out around this course now. So it's Dakota Bro, BJ Thomas, Keith Ayers, Michael Birch in the 38, Jade Burr in the 28. There's Michael in the 38 machine. There's Jade Burr in the 28. Action all over this racetrack. There's Nick Donfrancesco running in the 6th position. Comes into this race with a whole lot of playoff points and 3 wins. Looking solid for the postseason, just trying to wheel it to another solid finish here today. Everybody was looking at the 52 car being the favorite to win, and rightfully so, as you can see. Excuse me, not the 52, but the 00 of Dakota Bro. He still has the lead, but he just went off course a moment ago, and now the drivers running second and third are beginning to reel him in. Keith Ayers has retaken the 2nd position from BJ Thomas. There you see him. Keith has 1 win this season. 13 playoff points. BJ Thomas, it's a big night for him because he is a road course ace, a road course expert, and we have 2 road courses tonight. Mid-Ohio, race 1, and the final race of the night, race number 3. That would be Road America. And BJ Thomas is winless this season, so if he's going to get a win and get some valuable playoff points, it's going to be tonight, if any night. He's already locked into the playoffs based on points, but see, the playoff points become very important at this time of the season because they want to ensure that they're going to advance and go far through the rounds. This is your top 3. We're going to leave them for a moment and see what's going on a little bit further back. Michael Birch in the 38 machine still runs in 4th. Jade Burr in the 28 Ford Mustang. 2 wins, points leader. Running in 5th, and remember Jade Burr, it's a big night for him as well, because if he can hold on and salvage good points days in all 3 races, he's going to be the regular season champion, and he's going to capture 10 playoff points, and that'll make him basically the #1 seed entering the playoffs. See, that's key. That's Peyton Larson in the 19. Had a good qualifying effort, strong car, but he's got some front end damage to that Toyota Camry, and he's battling hard for position with Anthony Trippi in the 22. Might have even just got into the back bumper of Anthony. Anthony Trippi has made the playoffs in the 22 there. You see him, he's got 2 wins. 11 playoff points here in his rookie season in the NASCAR Motormaster Series. Ooh, he took a little bit of a wide entry to that one. Had to hold on to it. Jason Armstrong has a win in the 2019 Truck Series season, but no wins here in the NASCAR Motormaster Series. Right now, I believe he's inside the top 15. 21 cars started the event. Armstrong locked into the playoffs based on points, just trying to salvage decent finishes until the postseason begins, and that's always when Jason Armstrong seems to come alive. He made the Final Four last season for the Truck Series, and the season, last season for the Truck Series. And we saw him get a win in the Motormaster Series playoffs last year after he had been eliminated. That was Dave Marks Jr. in the 1. He cut the corner a little bit too hard. He's locked into the playoffs based on points. Comes into this race in the 11th position in the point standings. Very similar position as Jason Armstrong. Not really known for his expertise on a road course. He's trying to salvage what he can, get a good finish, and move on to Bristol, which is race 2 of the evening. Definitely don't want to miss that. We're going to go back up towards the front. We want to see how the battle for the lead is going. Well, I'll tell you how it's going for Michael Birch. He is off course, and he was running in the 4th position. Gets back on now, gets it fired up. He's got a whole lot of grass and dirt coming out from underneath that car. Not too much has changed up towards the front. A whole lot has changed mid-pack on back. They're still battling for position, but up front, Keith Ayers still holding on to the 2nd position from BJ Thomas, and BJ got all sorts of out of shape coming out of turn 1. Got the right sides into the grass, and we've seen that time and time again. Recipe for disaster. As soon as you do that, the car is very capable of getting loose and snapping on you, and that's exactly what it did to BJ Thomas. And the thing about it, BJ Thomas is a dirt racer, not only here in the NOSSCAR Dirt Touring Series on Sundays, but also in real life. He's got a dirt car and he goes racing on the weekends, and even he had trouble saving that one. Just goes to show you what the drivers are dealing with, the challenges that they are encountering here at Mid-Ohio Sports Course. Dakota Bros still leading. You're watching NASCAR Motormaster Series action right here on the NASCAR YouTube channel, posted on NASCAR Heat 3. See, I like the way that Dakota's taken turn 1 there, because it is a very... It's a corner that you can very easily overdrive, and he didn't overdrive it there at all. Oh, and he's trying to work around the lap machine of Dave Marks Jr. And there was another car off into the grass, and I couldn't quite see who it was. He might have even been in the gravel trap. There's a couple of areas scattered around Mid-Ohio with gravel traps, especially at the very end of the long straightaways, just so that way the cars, if there's a brake failure or something of that nature, they don't go head on through the grass and into the wall on the other side. lap traffic. That's Trey Hollywood in the number 4 Chevy Camaro giving way to Dakota Bro. Much faster car at this point in the race, leading the race. He won the pole and he's led every lap since the drop of the green flag. Looking strong, and remember, he's very strong on these road courses. We also consider Dakota Bro a road course expert. We got 2 of those tonight, and he's got 4 wins already this season. Very well could make it 6, maybe even 7. He's no slouch at Bristol Motor Speedway either. Checking in on info, driving the number 88 Chevy Camaro, comes into this race 4th in the standings with 3 wins, so he's very easily locked into the playoffs with 13 playoff points. So he's very well seeded. However, he did not make a successful qualifying run, so he started at the tail of the field, and he's just been slowly but surely working his way towards the front. Right now running inside the top 10. We just saw Keith Ayers in the 16 car, the red Ford Mustang there, just behind Dakota Bro. Going through the grass, trying to get as much speed as he could. And I think he lost control and went off course there and lost more time to the race leader. And stage 1 has come to a close. Dakota Bro captures the green and white checkered flag. Give him the stage win. It's his 9th career stage win in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, and that puts him in 2nd for all-time most stage wins in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. It's all this with a very respected group of drivers. So Dakota wins, Keith Ayers 2nd, BJ Thomas in 3rd in the 99 machine. Gotta go a little bit deeper in the field to figure out who made the top 5. We'll get it all sorted out for you by the end of the race. Remember, it is the top 5 drivers receiving stage points. The stage winner getting a playoff point as well. And if I'm seeing it correctly, it might even have been Info picking up 4th in stage 1, making up a whole lot of track position there. He might be a threat for this win now that he's got the track position here for stage 2. It's going to be really interesting. Dakota's going to have some competition. Michael Birch in the 38 with some sort of strategy. He's going to lead them to the line. The green flag back in the air for stage number 2. Keith got into the side of Dakota and he kept it in the grass to try to stay away from him, and Dakota's going to escape with the lead. And it's a hornet's nest behind him. Oh, here we go. Jay Burr got into the back of Info. Info got into somebody, and a few cars piled into the wall. Patrick Hazlitt in the number 20 car was one of them. Pardon me. Oh, and off course goes Info. There was contact made. Pat Dale making a nice pass here on Stephen Corley in the 5. Pat in the 21. Keith in the 16 made a really aggressive run there, but he made it work and he made the pass look easy. He forced Pat to be in the groove not preferred, and he had to lift. Meanwhile, back out front, it's BJ Thomas leading the race. Oh, and he got loose coming out of turn 1. He got the grass again, and he got into the side of Dakota. And the two strongest cars on the track collide. Heavy damage to the 00, and now Anthony Trippi getting into the back of BJ Thomas a little bit there. They're still side by side. Man, that was crazy. And out of all of that, Nick Don Francesco in the 98 machine takes the race lead. There he is. Even with all the front end damage, Dakota and the 00 is coming. Nick Don Francesco oversteered that corner, got it into the grass just a little bit. At this point, I think that he just needs to focus. He needs to look out his windshield rather than his mirror, because he's not there yet. But maybe I spoke too soon. He's there now, and he's looking low. Coming to the start-finish line, Dakota keeps it out of the grass there, and he leads this lap. Back to the lead goes the 00. Deeper in the field, some of the faster cars on the racetrack. Info in the 88, Jay Burr in the 28 trying to recover, but they're dealing with Curtis Fields in the 35 machine, among others. So it's Dakota Bro and Nick Don Francesco 1 and 2, Keith Ayers in 3rd, BJ Thomas in 4th. Pat Dale in 5th, Peyton Larson in 6th, Anthony Trippi in 7th, Jason Armstrong in 8th, Stephen Corley in 9th, and Info rounding out the top 10 with Jay Burr in 11th, Curtis Fields in 12th. That's your top 12 in Stage 2, Round 21 of the 2019 Motormaster Series season. Peyton Larson gets into the grass just a little bit there. Anthony Trippi gonna capitalize maybe. Get to the corner, and he goes through the grass there to make the pass, and Peyton retaliates, exiting the turn. Oh, and more contact was made. That was between Jason Armstrong and Peyton Larson. It's getting rough out there at Mid-Ohio. Don Francesco in the 98 machine loses 2nd and 3rd to Keith Ayers and BJ Thomas. There you see the lime green Ford Mustang popped into the picture there a moment ago. Behind BJ in the 99. Keith Ayers at the front of this 3-car tango. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Man, BJ has gotten into the grass exiting turn 1 a couple of times here today at Mid-Ohio. It's very easy to do. Oh, and then we just saw Don Francesco go off course. Nearly got it stuck in the sand trap, and he got it moving again. Didn't lose any track position, just track time. Stephen Corley inside the top 10. Locked into the playoffs based on points. Currently seated 5th in the point standings, actually, and And just as we speak about him, he overdrives the corner there and gets into the sand trap, gets it going again. No positions lost. Battle for position here inside the top 10. Anthony Trippi in the 22. 2 wins this season. Pat Dale in the 21. No wins this season. Racing part-time here in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. He does hold a win in the Truck Series this season. But again, racing part-time over there as well. Contact was made. Anthony Trippi sends Pat Dale off into the sand trap exiting turn 1. It almost looked like he lifted and let Info and Jade Burr go by. Whoa, and I didn't see exactly what happened there. I think he locked up the tires. Jade Burr went off course at high speed there. Now we should check in on Thomas Geyer in the 42. He's inside the top 15 right now. Needs to score as many points as he possibly can. As of right now, he will catch Nathan O'Hara and pass him for the final playoff spot, but if Patrick Hazlitt participates in 2 of the 3 events tonight, he will have met the required minimum amount of races in the regular season for participation to be eligible for the playoffs. So that would bump Thomas Geyer back out, but he's still racing for the points here. Let's see what happens. Even with all the front-end damage, Dakota Bro in the 00 Ford Mustang leads the way here at Mid-Ohio. We're in the final laps of Stage 2. You're watching NOSSCAR Motormaster Series Racing. Now, we think that the pit crews are going to have a little bit of work to do on the 00, and that might make the pit stop a little bit of a lengthy one, and he may not be the race leader after. We're going to have to find out. He's coming up on a whole bunch of cars to put them 1 lap down. I'm not sure if he's going to catch all of these cars before the end of Stage 2. Keith Ayers in the 16 comes into this race second in the point standings, and you might wonder why that's such a big deal, because the playoffs are coming up and that's going to kind of shuffle the point standings around. But then again, the regular season champion receives 10 bonus playoff points, and Keith Ayers is only 33 points away from Jade Burr in the point standings, and as of right now he's gaining some points on Jade. Looks like he's going to get stage points here in Stage 2. He got stage points in Stage 1 as well, whereas Jade Burr did not. It's not over by any means when it comes to those valuable 10 playoff points. Off course goes BJ Thomas, new second place driver. Runner-up position goes to Keith Ayres. We were just talking about him. And he just got around BJ Thomas. See, BJ seems to get in a little bit of trouble here and there within the first third of this course. Turn 1 and turn 2, and then maybe even this turn here, turn 3. Oh, and off course goes a lap machine. Looks like it's Kenny Adair in the 36. Michael Birch still running inside the top 10. Has a win this season. Locked into the playoffs. He's running 4th at one point here in stage 1 of this race. Since then he's fallen a little bit behind. Still inside the top 10, but he's got work to do if he wants to get back in contention for the win today. He just got a bit of a shot from Peyton Larson there heading into turn 3. Oh, but we're getting word that the officials have called that the stage is over. Stage 2 goes to Dakota Bro in the 00. There you see him. Keith Ayres will finish in 2nd in stage 2. Stage 2 3rd place finisher BJ Thomas. The class of the field appear to be the 00, the 16, and the 99. It's going to be settled between those three, but another question here, how much damage does Dakota Bro have, and how long is it going to take to fix on pit road? He might lose a little bit of track position if he chooses to repair it, and he did. When he only loses 1 position, and he loses it to Peyton Larson in the 19 car. So Peyton will lead them to the line. The green flag is in the air. Final stage of Mid-Ohio, folks. Here we go. There's contact between Nick Donfrancesco and BJ Thomas there a moment ago, but we're trying to stay with the leaders. Didn't take long. Dakota Bro is the new race leader, and he's got Keith Ayres right behind him in 2nd. Peyton Larson slips to 3rd. Info in the 88 machine runs in 4th. Remember, he started at the back, and now he's up here at the front. There you see him. Not a mark on the car at this point. Well, now there's one. He just got into the side of Peyton Larson. It's a battle for 3rd. Larson gave it back to him a little bit, and Info really gave him a bump there going into turn 5. Might be some bad blood between Info and Peyton Larson. Info better hope Peyton doesn't get back to him. I think he was trying, maybe overdrove the corner. Pat Dale capitalized in the 21, made the pass on Peyton Larson. Info's going to get away. This is still your battle for the lead. It's only separated by about 5 car lengths at this point. Keith Ayres having to run down the road course expert. He's going to want to win this one. And there you see Keith lost a bunch of track time through turns 1 and 2 there. it's Dakota Bro in first, Keith Ayers in second, Info in third, Pat Dale in fourth. I believe it's Peyton Larson, the 19 car, still holding on with, I believe, the 2 tires he took on pit road in the 5th position. Now we're getting close up here, and we got a battle for the race lead. Dakota Bro has led every lap since the drop of the green flag. And we might have a new challenger, maybe not. Keith overdrove, got into the sand trap, and lost a whole bunch of ground. Now he's got Info in the 88 machine closing in on him, and that's going to be a battle for second if he can get there. And it's a tough break for Keith. Finally ran him down, got his shot over there in turn 2. And it didn't stick. Keith looking for win number 2 this season. Checking in on BJ Thomas. This is inside the top 10. He's got Michael Birch and Pat Dale behind him. Since we've last seen Pat Dale, he's lost a couple of positions, actually. That's the new guy, Dash, up in third. Jade Burr in fourth. Might have overdrove turn 2 there. He did. BJ Thomas going to take fourth from Jade. Michael Birch, Peyton Larson side by side. 6th and 7th here. Whoa, way off the course went it. Jason Armstrong, there you see him. Don't think he suffered any damage. I think that the sand trap really saved him there. Patrick Hasler doing everything he can to keep Anthony Trippi behind him, and he actually is wiggling the car around a little bit. He might even have something on his tires that he doesn't like. We had a couple of cars go down pit road there. Pat Dale, Nick Don Francesco, among others. Pit stops have begun here. Stephen Corley in the 5, Peyton Larson in the 19, Jade Burr in the 28. Ooh, more problems for Dave Marks Jr. in the 1. That was on the entrance to pit road. He had Trey Hollywood in the 4 car there with him. I'm not sure if they made contact or not, but they both made it on pit road now. Trey made contact with somebody out there or something. Front end on that number 4 Camaro. Seen better days. Leaders have not yet pit. Dakota leads the race. He's got Keith Ayers right there in second. And Info in the 88 machine runs in third. gap to make up if he's going to catch these two, but these two are starting to battle again, and the last time they battled, Keith overdrove turn 2. See where he makes the move this time, if he can get to him. See if he can make it stick. Then again, these drivers got to be on pretty worn tires by this point. Neither of them have made their pit stop in the final stage. Bet over half the field has made their scheduled pit stop already, so strategy here at Mid-Ohio. Keith Ayres goes to pit road. It kind of looked like Dakota was going to pit road as well. Maybe he did the old fakeroony. Can't believe I just called it that, but yeah, he might have faked him out there. I'm really not too certain. This is all speculation, mind you. But Dakota stays out on the track for an extra lap. He's remaining the race leader. And now if Keith Ayres decides to take tires, not sure if he did or not, it might have been a fuel-only stop. If he took tires, it would benefit him. Have an extra lap on those fresh tires, but it kind of looks like it's all fuel pit stops only here. Getting closer to the end, and unless any major catastrophe happens to the 00, it looks like he has this thing well in hand. The only man it looks like who might be able to challenge for the trophy here today at Mid-Ohio is Keith Ayres in the 16, and we're going to have to see where they cycle through and cycle back onto the track with one another, because Dakota Bro, we know, is coming to pit road at some point soon. Not this time, though. There's Keith. See, he's coming to the start-finish line right now. Here's Dakota Bro, already exiting turn 2. We think it was a fuel-only pit stop for the 16 bunch. See, it's a big night for the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series drivers. It's the final night of the regular season. Last night to accumulate any playoff points before the playoffs begin. You can still accumulate the playoff points all the way up until Homestead. And the race leader is on pit road. Dakota gives up the top spot, comes to pit road. Again, we're going to have to see where Keith Ayres is when Dakota comes off pit road. There's Keith. Dakota just getting into his pit stall now. A little bit of a weird way to do it. I think it has to do with some sort of connection issue. Keith's coming down the front straightaway right now. Dakota's still on pit road. We have a new race leader, and it's Keith Ayres. Excuse me, it's Info, rather, in the 88 machine. Keith in second. And Dakota Bro in third. And don't ask me how this happened, because I really just do not have an answer for you. But that's how it is. The 88 leads the 16, and the man who dominated the race all event long, or excuse me, all evening long, Dakota Bro, runs in third. There you see him. He's on a mission. He knows he more than likely has the fastest car on the racetrack. Question is, does he have enough time? Info started at the back, worked his way up to 4th by the end of stage 1. Established himself as a contender for the win, but didn't really show too many glimpses of hope in stage 2. Now here in the final stage, after the pit stops, he finds himself leading the race here at Mid-Ohio, looking for his 4th NASCAR Motormaster Series win of the season. Battle for the lead heating up. Info trying to hold off Keith Ayers. '88 versus 16. Chevy versus Ford. Two different teams. One goal in mind, and that is to win the race here today. White Ford Mustang that you see coming into the frame every now and then. That is Dakota Bro. He's slowly creeping in. He is gaining ground on these guys. Oh, an Info overdrove turn 1. Here comes Keith Ayers. Keith takes the race lead. That's how quick it can happen, folks. See, Info did what BJ Thomas was having a tough time with all race long there. Turn 1, getting the right side tires into the grass, get you out of shape, and that's exactly what happened to the 88 machine, and he loses the lead. He's not out of it yet. He's still close enough to the race leader if he can clean his tires off and get back up there. There's plenty of passing points on this racetrack. Whoa, and Dakota Bro in the 00 got a little bit out of shape coming out of that corner over there, and he hasn't done that all race long. Definitely driving with a little bit of intensity, a little bit of, probably a little bit worried at this point. Dominated the race. Led the most laps, won the pole. Won stage 1 and won stage 2. Now currently runs in the 3rd position here in the final stage with not too many laps to go here at Mid-Ohio. Risks losing this one. Definitely one that he would want to have back if he did. You're watching the battle for the lead here at Mid-Ohio. 21 cars started the event. I believe we have 15 cars left on the racetrack. Keith Ayers goes off course, loses the race lead back to Info. All three of them are close together, and it's on, folks. We've got a battle for the win at Mid-Ohio. Oh, and Curtis Fields went off the track there just in front of him. That's a little dangerous. They all got a little bit held up there, but they made it through. Info goes off course. They're beating and banging. Dakota Bro and Keith Ayers going at it for the win. Keith cleared him. A car length separates the two now going down the straightaway. Heading towards turn 2. Tight right-hander. Goes downhill, so it's easy to overdrive and get off into the sand trap there. Many drivers have avoided that today. Trouble spots have been elsewhere. And see, the thing is, Dakota Bro in the 00, we were just talking about him dominating the race and maybe no longer having a shot to win it. This is what he needed. He's now right there. He's within reach. He can taste the champagne already. Oh, and a little bit of contact there. He looked low to the inside of Keith Ayres. Nothing there. A little bit of contact was made. Going through the final few turns, coming back to the start-finish line. Makes a big move to the inside. We have a new leader. Keith Ayres got pinched into the grass, put the 00 back out front. What a move. It wasn't the cleanest, but it wasn't all that dirty either. It was a nice pass here at Mid-Ohio, and he gets the job done. He puts about 5, 6, 7 car lengths between himself and Keith Ayres heading towards turn 3. And I'll tell you, it went down to about 2 or 3 car lengths. Keith Ayres drove in deep in that corner, trying to make up as much ground as he possibly can. Might have overdrove the same section of the track again, and he did. There he is. He went off course. Oh, and that's a tough break. He's now going to have to battle for the second position, second and third there with Info in the 88 machine. And Dakota Bro has a comfortable cushion, a comfortable lead over the drivers fighting for second and third back there. Here's that battle. Pardon me. BJ Thomas still inside the top 10. Had a shot to win this. Circumstances said otherwise, but still overall having a good day. Michael Birch, Jade Burr, all three of these drivers, BJ Thomas, Michael Birch, Jade Burr, running inside the top 10 on the lead lap. Strong showing today for them here at Mid-Ohio. Definitely a challenging road course. Maybe the most challenging on the NASCAR Heat 3 video game. Talked a lot about Thomas Geyer in the pre-race show hosted on Facebook Messenger earlier tonight with an attendance of 15 plus, and that was a good one. Thomas Geyer has to make something happen when it comes to the point standings. He's hoping to capture a win here tonight. He's participated in the minimum amount of races required in the regular season to be eligible, and he just got a huge bump from Keith Ayres. I think it was a connection issue between the two. Ah, man, it seems like everybody I begin to talk about has a problem. Thomas Geyer gets the boot from Keith, but again, a kind of looked like there was some connection issues there. Keith's car did not look very stable. Ooh, and it still doesn't. Keith just went flying off course and took out somebody. And it was Kenny Adair in the 36. Kenny's locked into the playoffs. No wins this season, but a whole pile of top 5s and top 10s. He's got problems, though, to that race car. Thomas Geyer, problems continue. More damage to the front end of the 42. Not the day he was hoping for. He's inside the top 13, but Jade Burr appears to be stalled at the start-finish line, and I'm really not too sure what's going on. The Mid-Ohio race is in the history books. Official results coming. What a race we just witnessed at Mid-Ohio. A lot of beating and banging, a lot of drivers going through sand traps, going off course through the grass. It was a wild one. And in the end, it was Dakota Bro in the 00 Ford Mustang capturing his 5th career NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win. 5th win of the season, rather. And 7th overall in his entire NOSSCAR Motormaster Series career. We're on our way to victory lane to speak with driver of the 00. We spoke to him in the pre-race show. He was very confident sounding in his race car and his abilities for the road courses. And he's proved us right here in round 1 of 3 on the evening.
Yeah, go outside.
We've made it down to victory lane. We're here with Dakota Bro. It was one heck of a race out there. Congratulations. 5th win of the season, 7th in your Motormaster Series career. You dominated the event. We talked to you in the pre-race show. You were really confident about this race. Did it go exactly the way you imagined it?
Man, to be honest with you,
Oh, we lost you. You still with me?
are you there?
Yeah,
Did you hear me?
I can now.
Hang on. Come on, bub. Let me let these dogs in. Can you hear me now, Ty?
Yes, sir.
Hang on just a second. But, no, the car ran strong all day. It was pretty fast. Keith got tied up in some issues, and so did Infow. I figured those two would be up there with me all race, and they held out. A lot of lap cars stayed out of the way, left it clean for us three, and at one point we were all three together, and it got hairy, and made it out on top, man. That was an exciting race. Them guys, man, congratulations to them as well. They were fast as well, and hopefully Road America's the same way. I'm looking forward to it and Bristol, and I really can't ask for no more. 5 wins. We're looking for more before this playoff line.
Yeah, there seemed to be 3 or 4 of yous that had the cars to beat. You had 3 or 4 that were the class of the field. You had the 00, the 99, and the 98, and among others, the 88 rather. And it was getting really exciting there, especially in the 16 of Keith Ayres. You mentioned that you three got really close there. Is that when you thought maybe, maybe I'm not going to win this one? Was there ever a point in this race where you thought, was the turning point?
No, not really. Kind of coming out of the pits, I asked if they took 2 tires, and Infal informed me he did, and I knew Keith was by him, so I figured Keith did the same to gain time on me, but not taking 4 tires at a road course ain't very smart. I mean, we were running down them tires pretty quick around there, and for him to take 2, I see the strategy there, but I know I was going to run him down with all fresh tires eventually, and I let that just prevail. They started getting tight in some corners, and I could deck him way faster than they could, and I gained that time, and I got ahead, and I just pulled away.
Seemed also like it was a game of cat and mouse. It seemed like the driver that made the fewest mistakes was the leader that in that stage. Do you agree?
Yeah, dominating the first, second, and then finishing, top of the leaderboard at the end of the race, man. That I just need all them playoff points, and I'm gaining on them even more. I've already got out a little bit, and man, it's just been a hell of a season. I want to thank all these guys for participating with us. It's been a hell of a season. This has been a great one.
We saw everything in Mid Ohio, man. Pit strategy, 3 cars battling for the lead, beating and banging. It was a whole lot of fun. And when the smoke cleared, you were the winner. Congratulations, and we're gonna let you go and get ready for Bristol.
Hey, thank you, Ty.
That was Dakota Bro, driver of the 00 Ford Mustang, picking up a win here at Mid Ohio. 5th win of the season, 7th of his career. He did a fantastic job. We're going to pull Keith Ayres into our commentary booth. Joining us now live in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, driver the number 16 Ford Mustang, Keith Ayres. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
I was just saying, actually, to Dakota Bro, there was about 3 or 4 cars that were the class of the field, and your 16 car was definitely one of them. Tell us about how your race went from your perspective.
I thought it was a very good race all along. I stayed in the top 5 pretty much all day, well, except for the start of stage 2, I got shuffled back to 10th, but I was able to eventually work my way back up to the top of the leaderboard, and then I tried undercutting on pit strategy. I did gain the lead, but the next lap around, I kind of ran it off the course, and it was just it just kind of turned into a game of who could stay on the track the most at the end of the race.
I brought that up to him as well. It seemed like the driver that made the fewest mistakes was the driver that was making the most passes in that couple of laps, that string of laps. You agree with that, huh?
Yes, I do, totally. It was a heck of a race in the latter part between me, D-Nub, and then Info.
Yeah, when you guys got close together, all 3 of you, and you were battling for the lead, what was going through your mind at that point?
I was just thinking, please, let's just three of us just have a clean finish, stay on the racetrack, and let's just finish this one off for the fans and send them home happy.
What are your expectations and your goals for the Bristol race coming up?
I plan to dominate and win Bristol, but that's a foregone conclusion. But I can't predict my future. I just have to let the race play out for itself.
Well, we like the confidence and we like the attitude you're going about it by. Congratulations on a top 5 at Mid-Ohio, and good luck at Bristol.
Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you from Victoryland at Bristol.
Ha! See, there you go. That's that swagger. Keith Ayers, driver of the number 16 Ford Mustang, top 5 here at Mid-Ohio. Has a win earlier this season, 13 playoff points in the bank, adding one more with a second place finish here at Mid-Ohio. Remember, unique point system for the Motormaster Series. Second and third place finishers at the end of the race receive one playoff point each. One last interview, third place finisher, info, driver of the number 88 Chevy Camaro. We'll see what he's up to. If he's kicking around the garage area here still somewhere. Joining us now in the NASCAR commentary booth, driver of the number 88 Chevy Camaro, info. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You started at the back, you worked your way all the way to position 4 in stage 1. How did you do it, and how did the car feel?
Well, there were some people who kept overdriving the turn and left an opening for me to pass all the other cars that were getting involved in wrecks. So I was able to, just go by them easily for stage 1. Stage 2, it was the same thing, except for I was in it for the first 3 laps or so, and then I had to go past all the other cars again just to get back up in the top 5 for stage 2. Then final stage, I made sure that nobody wasn't going to bump me or anything. I made sure I have enough room to where I could focus on trying to catch up to the leaders, which I did in some way. But, I didn't have a fast car like the other 2 drivers did. But I got top 3 out of it.
You were certainly up there with them. You led laps. You were slicing and dicing up there with them. You were making it interesting. It was a high-speed chess match with a lot of drivers taking 2 tires and everything like that. Is there anything that you think you could have done differently to maybe capture the win there at Mid-Ohio?
Yeah, me and Keith, I'm pretty sure me and him both didn't take tires because it was basically the same time pit stop or a same pit stop, whatever you want to call it. But D-Nub, he took 4 tires, and I've noticed at the last 2 laps it made a big difference. So I should have took 4 tires, but I didn't.
I'm pretty sure Dakota's claiming he took 2.
It could be 2, it could be 4. I'm not sure, but fresher tires definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Keith Ayers get a bit of a lead actually on Dakota Bro because of him pitting earlier. So yeah, definitely tires came into play. What are your goals heading into Bristol?
Same thing, top 3, top 5, somewhere around there. Try to get some playoff points, especially around stage 1 if I qualify up there.
One last question. You almost won the 2018 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series Championship. You have a really good chance at winning the 2019 NOSSCAR Motormaster Series Championship. How you going to go about getting it?
More aggressive. More aggressive and just practice more.
Very good. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations on your top 5 finish at Mid-Ohio.
Thank you.
I've decided we're going to have one last interview. It's with B.J. Thomas, who had a phenomenal run there at Mid-Ohio. Once we're finished with BJ Thomas, that'll be the end of the broadcast, and we will bring you live coverage from the main event of the evening later on tonight. Joining me now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, driver of the number 99 Chevy Camaro, BJ Thomas. Thanks for joining us.
Yep, no problem.
We're going to keep this a little bit short because the second race of the evening is coming up, but you had a great car all race long. You were up there in the top 5 for all of stage 1 and 2. Tell us how your race went from your perspective, and tell us if there's anything you could have done differently to run down Dakota.
Well, like you said, stage 1 and 2 went great for us. Placed third in both stages, so can't complain. Could have placed second maybe if I didn't choke. But final stage, Napa or Nick, he clipped the grass or something in front of me, and I locked bumpers with him, and it took me with him. So I got sent all the way back with him to the rear, and I had to make track position up the whole final stage then.
Yeah, that was a part of my next question. You also had to go from the front to the back deeper into the race. Tell us how challenging it was to do that, and tell us how challenging it was driving this course today. We saw a lot of drivers having trouble.
Oh, let me tell you, they drive harder in the back than the front. Man, they are beating and banging and everything and trying to get through there. They're racing too wide. They're trying to get every position they can. So I was just taking my time, letting them sort it out. And if one would drive off, I would pick that one off, and then it'd be easy pickings after that.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us, and good luck to you at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Thank you.
That was BJ Thomas, driver of the number 99 Chevy Camaro here at the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, picking up a top 5 finish, and that's going to do it for the Mid-Ohio broadcast here on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining us. Hit the subscribe button to catch the playoff action starting next Monday on Motormaster Monday. And join us shortly here later tonight for races 2 and 3 on the evening.